what's going on sort of around, and the effects that it certainly is having on me, having to do with the actual amount of risk and danger that we're in. So I talk a lot about the limbic system. I'm now actually also interested in the psoas muscle and the diaphragm and transversus, all these sort of muscles that interact with us in relation to stress and also sort of care and concern that we have around what's going on in our kind of space. And so, but it brings us back to this larger notion that actually comes from in my experience, comes from the wilderness school tradition of getting out of your mind and coming back to your senses, of literally taking a moment to pay attention to what's going on around you. I just do that because it's fun, but that actually paying attention to what's going on around you in the context of the amount of risk that you are actually in the moment that you are in. Because as I've said a million times before, our limbic system is absolutely intended to protect us from lethal threats, current impending lethal threats. You're about to be eaten by a bear is what it's for. Well, bears, tigers, whatever you happen to be, your larger predators in whatever area you happen to be in. But that's what it's for. It's to keep us from being eaten or killed by something. And so you have a pretty good perspective on my surroundings in my current place, and you can see that there's nothing, unless it fell on top of me or somehow bounced up from the ground, and it would be very difficult for anything that's in this room right now to kill me. And so for me to be in a space physically where my diaphragm is tense, where I'm in one of the folks I heard recently talk about, where I'm in this clenched position. Clenched meaning ready, prepared to either defend myself or run away from something that's about to kill me, is completely inconsistent with what's really going on around me. And so the idea, the whole breathwork thing is ultimately to bring us back to that space that we are actually in. So so in our mind, thinking that we're in peril, coming back to our senses, which is to sense the air temperature and the light and the sound and everything that's actually going on around me, so I can go, oh, that is not what's actually about to happen. And when I'm in a really tense place, I will keep coming back to that tension. And so it's literally releasing it, coming back to it, releasing it, coming back to it. That dance that I can do back and forth, sort of breath to breath, is certainly a place that I can be in. And again, the breathwork thing is the way to come out of that. If you're curious about what I mean by breathwork, I'm not going to be talking about it in this section, but you can go back to my Back to Basics Sunday, couple of videos before, and see what I'm talking about, and I'll walk you through the whole process. Also want to point out again, I have written a book that's absolutely free if you want a copy of it, that talks about all this stuff in detail, so it's written down, because if it's not written down, I would forget it. Just contact me, direct message me, or email me at jgwixson@aol.com, because AOL is the coolest email address to have, just in case you didn't know that. And I will send you a copy of that book through the interwebs. But yeah, so this notion of getting out of your head, coming back to your senses, paying attention to what's actually going on around you, to evaluate if you are in imminent peril of dying. Because again, it's not a threat, it's not a risk, it's not a worry, it's not a concern. It's about imminent peril of dying. Is there something in your space right now that's going to kill you? The answer for me right now, at least as far as I know, which is also very important, is no. As far as I know is very important, because, I don't know, there might be a tiger upstairs, there might be a tiger on the other side of that door. But as far as I know, there is not. If we go outside of this notion of as far as I know, we can get into that worry space where, oh my God, there could be, there could be, and then that's a perpetual place that we can be in, that saps energy from us, that keeps us from being in that space of right here, right now, where all our energy and power is. So, yeah, so really, literally, is there something that's about to kill me in this space right now? The answer is no. I want to be in a physical space where that matches up with that reality that I'm in right now. So, something to think about. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is rather sunny and gorgeous here in northeastern United States, and I hope it is something that you're enjoying where you are. If not, maybe that will happen tomorrow. which is when I will talk to you again with What's Next with Dr. Joel. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about because that's just kind of the way this thing goes. But I will know then, and I'll let you know what it is.